अरे I have to book the Dronacharya IPO today.
मुझे भी करना है.
It's the last date.
भाई है क्या एकदम?
अरे एकदम it's going to mint us a lot of money.
Really?
Yes.
साथ में करेंगे हम. साथ में करेंगे.
What does the company do?
Dronacharya, Eklavya. Oh, okay. It's an online learning platform.
कुछ भी. It's into drone manufacturing.
कुछ भी.
हाँ?
कुछ भी. Hey folks, see Rachana Ranade here and I welcome you all to a very important video because today we are not going to discuss about all other IPOs. Today we are going to discuss about SME IPOs because this really caught the attention of so many investors in 2022. We are going to discuss about top 5 things that you should keep in your mind before investing in any of the SME IPO or even if you want to invest in these shares in the secondary market. So please keep on watching the video till the end so that you get all the relevant information before taking any decision to buy these stocks. But before we move on, let me give a big thank you to these two people, Mr. Bhushan and Amarnath, for their wonderful comments. So first things first, we have to understand what is an SME IPO. But then let's try and decode these two terms one by one. Okay, so let's understand SMEs and then we'll understand IPOs. But first things first, only SMEs. Okay, those who are from a commerce background, I'm sure the moment you have read this word SME, you might have linked it with something called as MSME. Now, remember learning about this concept way back in college. There was a definition for MSMEs. So what are MSMEs? M stands for micro, S stands for small, and M stands for medium, and E enterprises. Okay. Now you will be like, how will I understand whether it's a micro company or a small company or a medium company? Look at the building size. Now you will understand. There has to be a definition for that. So what is the definition? A micro company is a company which has a turnover of 5 crores or less. For small companies, it's like turnover of 50 crores or less. Or for medium companies, it is a turnover of 250 crores or less. Simple. But if I'm talking about today's topic, we are talking about SME IPOs, not micro. Correct? So micro, gone. I hope now you have understood what is SME, that is small and medium enterprises. Okay, this is also done. Now let's get back to the second word, that is IPOs. IPO is IPO. There's no difference between a normal IPO, the meaning, and the SME IPO or IPO meaning is exactly the same. No difference in that. If you remember, we have talked about so many concepts like a fresh issue or an OFS. All these things will come up in an SME IPO also. Fair enough? Fantastic. But now the next question which has popped up in your mind is, where do these SME companies get listed? Well, I'm sure everyone must have understood that if these companies were going to get listed, they have to get listed on an exchange. Could it be BSE? Could it be NSE? But wait, these exchanges are called as the mainboard exchanges, wherein all the big companies get listed. So should there be a separate exchange wherein all these SME companies can get listed? And answer is obviously yes. For BSE, you have the BSE SME platform, and for NSE, you have the SME Emerge platform. I personally loved the word NSE Emerge platform, that is for emerging companies, right? Both these exchanges came into existence on March 2012. Okay, but then we have to understand a very important difference. If a company were to get listed on normal NSE versus if a company were to get listed on NSE Emerge platform, what is the difference? For that, let's have a look at this chart. Well, whatever you can see on the screen now are like the important differences between a company getting listed on the Emerge platform versus company being listed on the Mainboard platform. If you want, pause the video, take a nice screenshot so that you can go through all these points whenever time permits. But as of now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on top 3 points that everyone must know. So let's start with the very first one, which is about minimum number of allottees in the IPO. This is like a general knowledge that you should know. Whenever a company is going to come up with an IPO and if it comes up on the main board, number of allottees, the number of investors to which they have to allot shares, for main board it is it's 1000, whereas if it is on the Emerge platform it is only 50. Okay, so this is just for your general knowledge. Second point that we should focus on is about the IPO application size. I'm sure those who have already been investing in IPOs, you must be aware of the fact that if it's a main board IPO, then generally the lot size or generally the ticket size, minimum ticket size is somewhere between 10,000 rupees to 15,000 rupees. But if it is on the Emerge platform, it is not less than 1 lakh rupees. So can I say the ticket size involved on an Emerge platform is going to be way too higher? Absolutely yes. Okay, but then when we want to sell these shares on the SME in the secondary market, then what? We are going to discuss that in the coming parts of the video. As of now, we are focusing only on the IPO thing. And the third thing, very important point, is about reporting requirements. Now this is third point, is about the financial reporting. I'm sure you are aware of the fact that any company which is listed on the Mainboard platform, they have to do quarterly reporting, so Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. But if I'm talking about a company which gets listed on the Emerge platform, the reporting requirement is only on a half yearly basis. I hope the key points of difference are absolutely clear. But wait, where do I get to see the information? So right now what we are going to see is, we are going to see the website of the NSE Emerge platform. So here I am on the NSE Emerge website. If you want, you can obviously Google it out, or if you want, I've also given the link of this website in the pinned comment, right? Now, first things first, let's understand what can we see here. I'm sure everyone knows what is Nifty 50. We can see the index at what level it is right now, but this is of the normal Nifty 50 index. Does the Emerge platform also have its own index? And answer is yes. This is the Nifty SME Emerge index, which is right now at 6,863. But 2-3 important points about the index. Number one, though the exchange started in 2012, the index was formed in 2016. Okay, number one. Number two, when it was formed in 2016, the base value was considered as 1000, and today, as I shoot the video, February 23, it is already at 6,863. So it has gone up by almost 7 times in hardly 6-7 years, right? So this has grown very much exponentially, and that is the reason why maybe all the retail individual investors go crazy these days behind these SME IPOs. Third thing that you need to know about this index is that, like Nifty 50 index is traded in the F&O segment, this index is not traded. This index is there only for you to understand the sentiment, overall sentiment of the SME platform, right? Now let's go on to the second information that you should know about. Is here you can see the IPO tab, right? Trade information, initial public offering. I'm just going to click on that. If you click here, you'll understand which companies right now are available for investing. So you can see here 2 companies. If I were to understand the start date, the end date, one is closed also. Yesterday it got closed, and one is going to close tomorrow. So you must have gotten a hint that today I'm on the Valentine Day, I'm shooting this video. Okay, so this will tell you about which companies are available for IPO in the SME platform. One more thing that you should know is about the market watch that you can see here, and here you can see which companies have gone up by how much, what is the change, what is the current market price, everything. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on view all, and here you can understand that which companies on the SME platform have advanced, which have declined, and how many are unchanged. But here you can see something different point as compared to the normal exchange. Why? Generally in the normal exchange, unchanged number is very less in comparison with advances and declines. Here the number for unchanged is very much high. So here you can also see, by the way, this one you can see very clearly. I've zoomed it in. Change, percentage change, just follow these 2 columns, change and percentage change, right? Now I'm just going down. Okay, 0. Look at the zeros, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh my god. So there are so many companies which are actually showing only zeros. Now what is all these things? So this means that whatever was the price yesterday, it is the exact same price even today. So do you feel कि कुछ तो गड़बड़ है? So what we are going to do now, we are going to understand what are points we should keep in mind before investing in the companies which are listed on the SME platform in the immediate next section of the video. Well, before we move on to the key points that you must be aware of, or I can say SME investor Savdhan, before that, let me tell you that if you want to invest in any of these shares, of course you need a demat account, and for that, are there different brokers or normal brokers? No, normal brokers. So if you want to open an account with Zerodha, the link is there in the description box below, right? So moving ahead with certain points that you have to keep in mind before investing or before taking a decision of investing in these shares. Number one, the point that we saw right now, unchanged, was a huge number. So what does it tell us? It tells us that the liquidity for these shares could be comparatively on a lower side. So basically, the moment you want money and you want to sell it off, it's not necessary that you will definitely find a buyer. You may have to wait till you find a buyer. So of course, the exchange is only going to do the matchmaking mechanism, but there has to be a buyer so that you will be able to sell off your shares. Number one. Number two, I'm sure a question might have popped up in your mind that why could there be a dearth of buyers? Okay, so for that you have to understand this important point, that like we talked about applying in the SME IPO, what was the minimum amount that was required? That was minimum 1 lakh. Correct. But then you might be like, but that is at the time of IPO, na? I can sell it in the secondary market. Let's say I can sell only shares worth 10,000, 20,000. For SMEs, the pain point I can say is that you have to sell in lots only, and the lot as defined in the IPO. So here the problem is that if you want to sell off, you can't sell shares worth rupees only 10,000 or 20,000. Entire 1 lakh or whatever is the lot size valuation. It can be 1 lakh, 1,25,000, whatever. You'll have to sell that at one shot, and that is the reason why maybe number of buyers could be comparatively less. So I hope you have understood. Even if you want to sell in secondary market or even if you want to buy in secondary market, it has to be in the lot size. Lot size is not 1 year. Lot size is same like IPO. Okay, I hope all these points are absolutely clear. Now, then what is the point that attracts so many investors to SME is the big question, right? So for that, I would want to give you this amazing stats. Here you can see that as of 31st March 2022, you can see that 247 companies have been listed on the NSE Emerge platform, right? What was the total capital raised during IPO? How much was the total capital raised? It was only 3,801 crore, only SAE. Why am I saying only? Because the market cap as on 2022 is 35,375.15 crores. So you can see that the total capital raised to market cap, it has gone up almost more than 10 times. So this is the price frenzy that keeps retail individual investors like these, they go crazy behind SME IPOs. Problem is that they don't even know what does the company do, and just because someone has said, "Arey, ye bhagega," people invest in these companies. So going back to that example, what was Dronacharya's main business line? I'm not going to tell you. I want you all to do your own research. So this is your homework. You can take that as a homework. I want you all to answer what Dronacharya does in the comment section below, and then you will understand that both of them were not correct. Actual answer you will tell me, right? Now let's continue with the same example of Dronacharya. Let's understand how much is, what are the basic financials for this company. So let's have a look at this. You can see here, sales growth, 35,800% sales growth. Amazing. Wait, for that, have a look at the financials of the company. You can see your financials for the period end 31st March 20. Revenue column, 0. 31st March 21, 1 lakh rupees, and 31st March 22, it has jumped to 358 lakhs or 3.58 crore rupees. And that is the reason why you can see that this sales growth is 35,800%. Okay. Now, is this the only reason why I'm going to invest? Answer is obviously no. I have to look at some other points also. So going back to the point of the financials, you can see recently as of 31st March 22, it has come into profit. Before that, it was into losses only. Now, one more important point is that the issue price of this company was around 54 rupees. And as I shoot the video, the price of this company is around 172. Now, I want you all to look at the stock PE. What is the stock PE? It is 1008. The moment it is about PE, I'm sure only one example that comes up to your mind is the group companies, right? Whatever companies are there in that group, all the P's will be like sky high. But you also have to understand that there are certain SME IPOs also, or SME companies which command a very high valuation. So be aware of these points. Okay, let's have a look at the price chart also. Have a look at the chart. Up, upper in the air, continuous almost back-to-back upper circuits, and from that, it started its downward journey, almost retraced by almost 40%, and from there, it has been into a sideways trend. So what is the whole point that I was wanting to make in this video? Number one is that investing in SME IPOs or investing in SME companies in the secondary market is not bad. The only thing is that you have to do your own research and then only take your final decision of investment, number one. Number two, why did I take the example of Dronacharya is that there was a big buzz among the retail individual investors. So that is the only reason why I took this as an example. I'm not digging into the details of the fundamentals of this company. Nothing against the company. This was purely an example. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to share it with your friends. Don't forget to smash the like button as well if you loved this video. And if you want to know more about IPOs, you can click here. And if you want to know more about how do I analyze IPOs, you can click here. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye-bye.